I was horrified the first time I did comedy. I was, God, I was scared to death the first 10 years I did comedy. But I just fought through it because I knew that's what I wanted to do in my life. But in the beginning, I was scared shitless. And it was frightening. And when I was 17, I had a fake ID. You had to be 21 to be in the clubs. So all my jokes were like the thoughts of a 17-year-old. All my jokes were about like trying to get laid on dates in my dad's car and stuff, Trying to, it worked out, obviously.
It's interesting. You see these guys throwing rocks at tanks. They obviously never played rock, paper, scissors then. Everybody knows that a tank beats a rock every time.
That's how I cleanse my soul and remove the impurities. It's a thrill, It's, you tell that first big joke, the first big laugh is, you got butterflies and you're a little nervous, and then, maybe the first joke doesn't work, whatever, and then you get that first big laugh, and then you can relax, and it's a flood of endorphins. And, there's no better high in the world than being on stage and making people laugh and throw their heads back, all happy,
I've done some fabulous gigs in the United States, man. I played in New Orleans. And it's interesting that all the voodoo shops survived Hurricane Katrina. And that's the trick to visiting New Orleans. When you go to New Orleans, you want to go to the voodoo shops before you get too fucking drunk, because you don't want to be in there fucking around with a chicken's foot and not know what his purpose is. And you go home and your parents are midgets. That'd be kind of cool, actually. That'd be the only way I could love my mom and dad more, if I could pick them both up at the same time. Oh, Tommy's home. What jokes did you fucking bring?
My family's just glad I'm not in prison. They're thrilled to death. I mean, my prospects were very, Remember when I don't know if you, like when you're in high school and you get letters of intent, like universities that want you to apply there. I remember the kids at my school, oh, I got a letter from Harvard, I got a letter from Princeton. And I would get letters from the Army and the Orlando Barber College. They were interested in me applying. But, fortunately I followed the showbiz route. But I could be a haircutting motherfucker right now.
In Australia, a cracker is a really good joke. Ha ha, that was a cracker. So every year in Sydney, Australia, they have a comedy festival, and it's called the Cracker Festival. Last year, I was in Sydney, Australia, and I did the Cracker Festival. About 3 months later, I was in Shreveport, Louisiana, walking around with my Cracker Festival t-shirt on. You should have saw the looks people gave me, man. Crackers have their own festival.
Never doubted for a second. No, I've never thought of ever doing anything else. Never, ever considered anything. Even when it was really fucking hard and it was tough. First 10 years was really tough. I used to hitchhike to gigs. I didn't have a car. I did have a fruitcake pick me up once, and then I stopped hitchhiking. I had to sleep on a million friends' couches. Something romantic about struggling, too, I think that's when, really good jokes started to happen, When you're, suffering, that's the great thing about comedy, man. I mean, laughter is healing. So, you have hard times, you make jokes about it. You might not be now, like if you're heartbroken or something in your family, there's a tragedy or something. But, it's sooner or later, when you make jokes about things, you laugh and you feel better about it.
I was in Kansas. They had all these tornadoes that just wiped out all these mobile home villages. When are they going to stop making mobile homes? I mean, the smartest pig lived in a brick house. Did you not have that children's story here? About the 3 little pigs? One of them lived in a straw house, and the wolf blew the straw house down, and then another one lived in a wooden house, and the wolf, I think it originated in Germany. Surely that fucking story made it to Holland. And then the smartest pig lived in a brick house. Maybe the joke just isn't funny.
For me in my life, the strategy, it's always when things collapse in your life, things go wrong, things don't work out, whatever the situation is, the answer is always write better jokes. You know, just keep writing better jokes. That's the answer to everything. It's got me very far in life. Just keep writing better jokes.